Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. This is a special Wednesday night stream. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave emote, the Lego emote into the chat. If you're here, your family, hello. Harold, thank you for hosting as always. So, I don't know what tonight is going to bring as far as views. Wednesday nights are often game night, and that ranges, I think, game to game on if people are going to come by and hang out and enjoy the stream. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. The idea that we're building could include more folks coming by, seeing what we're doing. Lashbrook's here. Hi, Lashbrook. Wednesday night, also, it's a wrestle night. A lot of fans watching wrestling. A lot of folks out there watching the wrestles. We'll talk about some wrestling stuff, probably in conversation. One thing about the job I'm doing right now is that, one, my brain is foggy because I'm trying to cram a lot of brand new information into it. Facts and figures about things that don't matter for anybody except the people it matters to. It also means that I left the house today for half an hour. I left the house today for one half an hour. And when work shift ended, I just did other things, and now I'm doing this. So I don't quite feel like I'm living. Last night, I should have gone out. I should have, after the work was done, I should have, gone to a movie or gone and seen a comedy show or just gone out to dinner or something like that. I am still, basically broke right now until my first paycheck, which comes at the end of the month. That's not entirely true. Next Monday, I get some money coming to me for tech work that I do. So I will get, on Monday I will have some cash, and then on Thursday I will have quite a bit more, and it'll be good. But right now it's this odd time. I knew it, Pat, as a ghost. Harold says I'm a ghost. I don't get that, Harold. I don't get it. Well, I'm a ghost. What's up? What's ghost about me? I don't know what I don't. I apologize, Harold. I'm a little slow on the uptake. I don't get what you mean. Um. But yeah. I haven't really experienced life other than what's going on the internet. So tonight, as we build our model kit, as we work on our blue frame, I'm just going to talk about what's going on the internet. Hello, Christian. Hello. Welcome. Now, I should say this. Also, you said you didn't feel like you were really living. There you go, Harold. Okay. In which case, I would be dead and a ghost. I get it now. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm living a life outside of my apartment right now. That is one of, obviously, working from home has many benefits. One of those benefits being, I didn't take a shower today. I put on a new shirt, but I did not take a shower. And I worked an 8-hour shift without a shower. It's pretty good. I didn't have to go anywhere to do my job. That's pretty good. Also, because originally I was, so backtrack a little bit. As you know, I work at a theater, and now I have a day job that I do from home. The theater, I was originally going to work tonight. Actually, I would be work right now if that was the case. I'm not there. So originally, I was going to work my 8 hours and a half, because of the half an hour break or whatever. Then stream for 2 hours, then go to work. That was today's plan. Because I don't have to go to work at night. Instead, I had the time, which meant I got to relax after 8 hours, let my mind go a little numb, set all this up. I didn't have to do this morning. I could do it at my leisure because I had from 6:30 till 9 to do all that. Eat dinner. That was good. I'm not, originally the plan was to eat at work, my night work, and I didn't have to do that. Also, I got to watch some anime because folks know there's a bunch of anime shows that I like that come out on Wednesday afternoons. And only one that comes out on Tuesday. So since the last time I streamed, I only had one show to talk about that was Tuesday. So I ended up watching some. Now, did I watch all of them that come out? No. I chose not to watch A Sentence of a Bookworm, and I will talk about that on Saturday. I will watch it because I am still interested in the show, but that show is also on the borderline. So I have 2 Wednesday shows that are on the borderline of like, am I going to keep watching the show? One of them is A Sentence of a Bookworm. The other is Radiant. I watched Radiant because there was talk of a Doulahan, and that intrigued me. We'll get into it later. It's pretty good, says Christian. Yeah, I know what you mean, says Harold. When I'm on summer break, there are days where I don't get out much. Yeah, I mean, and also, you have to take that in consideration that a lot of my unemployment this year was my life revolved around streaming and revolved around making sure I left the house to go play Pokemon Go. Because if I don't sign into a Pokestop every day, then I don't further that part of the game. That Pokemon Go got me out of the house a bunch this year, in times where it wouldn't have otherwise, which is great. Today, we're going to go to the overhead in a second and get started because we had a few folks with us tonight. Like I said, I don't know how many people we're going to have tonight because it is a Wednesday and we're building on a Wednesday, which is odd. But that's the way it is because I am covering for my job tomorrow at the theater I work at tomorrow. So I'll be at the theater tomorrow teching. So I'm streaming tonight. I am going to always attempt to avoid covering on Thursday. It was a necessary thing. In fact, I don't like to work on Thursday. I like to stream on Thursday. Thursday is the first streaming day for me. It's my primary streaming day, in my opinion. And also, working at the Broken Comedy Collective, which I enjoy, on Thursdays, I have to manage and tech, and I don't like it. And I don't, even though I make a little bit more money doing it, I don't make double. They're not paying me to manage and tech. They are paying me to in between, and that's fine, except it's not, and I don't want to do that. So I'm like, all right. Hello, Dude Wants His Rug. Let's go to the overhead. Happy to have you here. So I will talk about Pokemon Go in a second, but I have done a disservice here because we're done with the top half and we're done with one leg of our blue frame. But I have yet to talk about a very important part of this kit. We've talked about the head swords, but have we talked about the shoulder swords? This kit loves swords because these are swords. They're swords on the shoulder. There are swords on the head. Are there going to be more swords? Are there going to be backpack swords? Yes. Are there going to be skirt swords, waist swords? Yes. Leo's here. Lord Crashton is here. Hell yeah. This is a great crew of folks. Welcome, welcome. Happy to have you here. But I did want to make sure that I mentioned the fact that this kit is swords. More swords the better, says Christian. Damn right. Now, that's an Astray thing. We built 2 red frames. We built the red frame and we built the Sengoku red frame, which Sengoku just had, it added more arms. So it added shoulder arms so that it could hold more swords. And then it also had a big sword, which was a combination of parts of it into a bigger sword. This has this as well. Later, we're going to build side swords, which pop off and can be held. And then also, you can take parts of the backpack off and combine them into big swords. And then, of course, wrist blade swords. You gotta have wrist swords. Chip Zanoff knew what he was doing. He got Mickey Mouse sword ears. Yes. Indeed, Ultron. Also, hi, Ultron. But yeah, this thing has swords on swords on swords. It's all swords. Oops, all swords. Swords. If I keep saying swords enough, eventually it'll have no meaning at all, and I will go mildly off the deep end, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to stop saying swords. And let's start working on leg day, because we did one whole leg, and then we this was a lot of this you did at the same time, and now we got to build up all the armor around it and really like blow it out and build it up again and work on the other leg. So many swords. Oh no! I'll be building along tonight. Hell yeah, Leo. And of course, you don't have to, but if you would like to, our Discord, you could post photos of what you work on in the Discord. No one has to do that. No one has to join the Discord. No one has to post in the Discord. But I like it, so it's cool. And there's the link to the Discord. It's in the show description if you're watching this later on YouTube. Lashbrook asks, can it transform into a giant sword for another Gundam to wield? And then Ultron replies, that's Gaio Gaigar. And it is Gaio Gaigar. You're not wrong. You don't... Harold doesn't think that's enough swords because Harold is being funny. See you, Harold. I see you being funny. All right. Well, now we got to keep building. I want to talk about Pokemon Go. So, look, obviously, I still play Pokemon, not obviously, but I still play Pokemon Go. I still get a lot of enjoyment out of Pokemon Go. It is a game that I enjoy, that I have found very fun, and I do enjoy doing it. There's currently a quest. There's quests and research projects. There's currently a research project, I should say, where you have to do a bunch of things. And I know, leave the comedy to the professionals. Hell yeah. No, Harold. I was just goofing with you. I'm in a bit of a silly mood myself tonight. So, research. You got to do stuff. You got to catch a number of things. You got to go to a thing. You got to use a bunch of berries. You got to do a bunch of stuff. It's a whole thing. Well, one of the most recent research projects involves visiting 8 Pokestops you've never been to before. Now, for some people, that is a roadblock because they live in a part of the United States or a part of the world where they don't really see a lot of Pokestops. They have like the bank or the church or the grocery store or the gym. Maybe your Pokestops. Maybe their town has a Verizon store, and that Verizon store is a Pokestop that's sponsored, which only means that it makes sure you know it's that, and then when you get something from it, it's a whole thing. It is, as far as paid advertisements go, it is so minor compared to other things that we constantly deal with here in our lives. Comparatively, it is very minor. So, anyway, for me, I just picked a direction I don't normally walk. So that was my half an hour today. I have a half an hour break, mandatory break. It is either the city of New York or the state of New York. I forget which. But one of them says, hey, you got to have a break for half an hour on this shift. So I went on break. 15. Sorry. So I went on break, and I took a long walk, and I spent all of my half an hour visiting Pokestops I've never been to. Because I was like, oh, you know what? I'll go this way. There's a sandwich place. I can get a sandwich that I like. But I never walk there. I usually just get off I take the subway. I'll just walk there. Well, also, I forgot that route that I was going to walk is also the route I take via bus when I'm going to visit a friend of mine in Queens, because it's faster to take the bus to see him than it is to take the subway. So I've already been that way, walked that, or been on a bus going that way, so that didn't work. So I couldn't visit my Pokestop the way I wanted to, which was very frustrating. So I had to walk today. I walked, and I got what I needed out of the Pokestop. And it was fine, but it took longer than I would have liked it to take to get the results that I needed. I still have to catch like 30 more Pokemon because they wanted me to catch 108 Pokemon, which is a lot of Pokemon to catch. There's other stuff going on with Pokemon, though, like other in Pokemon Go. There's some new Pokemon that I want to catch anyway, so it's fine. But it was like, all right, game. All right, so this goes like this. This goes in. And that goes like that. All right. Usually I remember these steps when I did it the first time, but this time around I'm like having to remind myself what I need to do. But we got it. We got it going. All right. So then we need C and E. I know it's the C. Let's figure out which E it is. But yeah, that was my big Pokemon adventure today. My whole walk, my entire, I think like 28 of my 30 minutes off today, was me walking in order to, visit Pokestops I've never been to before. And then while I was doing that, let's be real, I was also catching Pokemon that I need to catch. So it did help. It wasn't bad. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to get it because I don't know what the next step is and I haven't looked it up. So I'm trying to get it before the weekend hits. Because if it's something that like is timely, that's what sometimes these things get stuck. Like my iPhone 6, I have a 7 now. I got a 7 now pretty recently. I've talked about this on stream, but I had a 6 for a really long time. My iPhone 6 would crash if I tried to trade Pokemon. So I wasn't trading any Pokemon because I couldn't. So I'm behind on some stuff that involved trading Pokemon because I haven't seen people that also still play Pokemon Go in a while, which I will when I go next month at Anime NYC. I will definitely see people that play Pokemon Go still, and I'll be able to trade. And hopefully, my phone, which is a 7, will be able to handle it. But as a 6, my phone was just like, no, we're gonna crash. We're not gonna work. I had a terrible pattern of getting to the parts of research that required me to catch specific Pokemon that like a week ago were everywhere, but now for months once I have the quest. Yes, Leo, that's what I'm afraid of. I had that trouble there. Whismur was the thing that I waited weeks and weeks trying to catch Whismur that just were not in my area, that had been in my area, but just weren't. And then eventually I did catch a Whismur enough Whismur because I went to Seattle. For some reason at PAX West there were Whismur. And so I was able to get that. Project Pokemon Go. I'm just like looking at the steps now. See if they're gonna tell me. But yeah, I've had that same pattern of bad luck, Leo, where it's just like, nope, I missed my window on this one. Hopefully, I will just find an Aerodactyl somewhere. I needed to evolve a Miltonic like 2 days after I just evolved one. Yep, a lot of Pokemon I see around me are very out of the way from my normal routes around town. Lord Crashton says, yeah, I'm lucky enough that obviously I live in a major metropolitan city. There are a lot of Pokemon. There are a lot of Pokestops. There are a lot of gyms. I can like the quest to visit 10 or spin 10 Pokestops. I can do that running errands. Like, it's not a problem for me. I know for some people it is a big problem. There's a story on Kotaku or Polygon. I forget. I think it was a Kotaku. It might have been Polygon story about this island where because of geographical changes or how the game read that, there were no Pokemon anymore. And so some people would like travel off the island for business, and they would come back with Pokemon to trade, because like the Pokestops just stopped attracting Pokemon, which is awful. All right, so research. All right, it's not telling me anything here. All right, I'm not getting anything that I need. Anyway, yeah, trying to get everything done. I just got a shiny Bulbasaur, third shiny Eevee, gotten wild since they got introduced. Nice. I feel like Pokemon have been actively permanent, which makes me catch X quests hard. Yeah, it's hard. It can be a tough thing when it's like catch a certain amount of this or catch this kind of Pokemon. Like, you know, for me, I can go near the water if I want to try to catch more water Pokemon, or the weather's going to change enough that there might be some of this, but like there are some Pokemon that just like I don't see anymore. And so when it's like catch 10 fire Pokemon, you're like, well, hopefully this will work out. Sometimes those quests I just let them go. Obviously research projects you want to nail, so you're like waiting around for research projects, but sometimes I'm just like, whatever, I'll figure this out when I figure it out. I'm not in a rush. I had research quest around the doing things with a Dratini. Oh, yeah. Accidentally did them out of order. Yeah. Yeah, Lower Crashington. That one definitely screwed me up. There are a couple of those that got me where I was like, oh, no. I need to catch a whatever. Oh, this thing that I leveled up, I wasn't supposed to then get rid of. I need to hatch it, or I need to evolve it. Oh no, I didn't know I needed to evolve it. Oh no, been there. But at the end of the day, it is a thing that gets me out of the house, and I am grateful for that because I need to get out of the house sometimes. So if Pokemon is the thing that's doing that, thank you, Pokemon. H2, 5, and 6. It's these things. I snipped these out early by mistake, and now I need them. Yeah, I always look up research lines before doing anything now. I've screwed myself so much. Yeah, I'm going to look that up. Let me look up this research line, see what the next step is. You get to watch me do that. Use my... Oh, nope, not you, Siri. Nope, not you, Siri. There we go. Gonna open up Pokemon. See what the next line is. I'm used to normal games that don't let you mess up quests, and Pokemon Go doesn't give a shit about being nice. Yeah, Lord Crashington. Pokemon Go is like, hey, walk with this friend for 3 days, and you're like, and get a bunch of candies, and you're like, okay. Well, I finished that up, and then like 2 steps later, it'll be like, great. Now evolve it. And you're like, but I didn't want to keep it because it's not what I want. It's not a Pokemon I cared about. I have one that are stronger. And it's like, tough. You might want to change your passcode now, says Lashbrook. I did start to enter it. I stopped entering it. But of course, yes. Also, yes. Also, yes, Lashbrook, you're right. I did start to enter it while my phone was on screen. So I will change it. I didn't complete it. I switched to using my thumb because I was like, oh, I should just use my thumb. And I didn't think about that. But you're right, Lashbrook. I am going to change my passcode on my phone because I did have it visible for a little while there. All right, so this one is called A Spooky Message 2019. A Spooky Message 2019. So let's see what they say. All right. There's no... Oh, okay, great. Quest 3 of 3 is that usual thing where you just get whatever. Oh, I'm going to get a Spirit Tomb. Okay. That's all I got to do. All right. All I have to do is catch 20 more Pokemon. I could do that. You're on the last step, says Leo. Yeah, I didn't realize. I'm the last part of the last step. I just got to catch 20 more Pokemon, and then I'm going to change my passcode into something else. I wanted to change it anyway. Because you got to update your passcode sometimes. Also, I probably should at some point take my thumb print off of that. Not that I have regular run-ins with the police, but you know, they could just put your thumb on there. So I would prefer to not have that happen, if avoidable. All right, XB2, XB1, XB2. It's this one here. Great. Doing that. Yeah, so I just got to catch some more Pokemon. And since I'm going to go to my night job, my tech job tomorrow, I walk there and walk down a major street, and I will be able to catch some Pokemon there. And that's good. That is good. All right, so we got to do this, that. Great. Moving on. This is going pretty well as far as doing, the old model kit building. Right now, I would say this is the most basic of steps. We're working on the legs, right? There's not a lot of exciting things going on with this model kit. I'm enjoying it. I like this kit. I like the look of it. But we're now doing like the second part of our the second leg. Second leg, same as the first leg, Oh yeah, I said I was going to talk about some wrestling. Look, I did not buy the Bad Wrestling video game. I like watching footage of the Bad Wrestling video game. It's bad. Here's the thing that's incredible. This is WWE 2K20. It plays bad. It looks bad. But also, the part that you might say, well, yeah, so the actual like gameplay, like glitches and objects not there and objects disappearing and all this, like, a lot of it, like, only affects some people and seems to be on some consoles, and some of the things seem to be changed. But then the create a wrestler like storyline is bad and terrible for totally different reasons for the way you would expect that to be bad. Like, it's bad. Like, it's just bad. I watched the quick look, and man, and my main takes more games. Yes! Main takeaway is the game should have big head mode. Big head mode is great. Look, there's a lot of bells and whistles about that stuff that's fun. It's just that a lot of that game is poorly implemented, poorly designed. There's like a lot of stuff with a lot of the characters. The wrestlers look bad. The wrestlers look very bad. They don't look like they should look. They don't look like the people they're modeled after. In some instances, because there are multiple versions of them, right? So, like, the multiple versions should be, like, their costumes, right? In 2015, Bailey is different from 2019 Bailey, right? Like, but, like, yeah, Macho Man Randy Savage. They shouldn't have been tweaking Macho Man Randy Savage from the last game that they had Macho Man Randy Savage in. He shouldn't look worse than he did last year. Now, I will say this. This is... Yuke's is done. Yuke's used to be the people that made the game. They are not the people that make the game anymore. So, a team that has worked on support for the game is now the lead on it that did not have the time to do it. Because the WWE does not think that they... somebody... somebodies made the decision that it was better to put out a game that was not going to do well or run well than it was to take a year off. The decision was made. I don't know who made the decision. Someone did. I don't care wrestling at all, but that Randy Savage model made my soul hurt. Yeah, you're not wrong. It's probably bad that WWE forces to be a game every year when they change devs and make it clear. It clearly took everything they had to get it done this time. Yeah. Because people are like, why isn't the 24/7 championship in there? That's a title that exists now. There's no 24/7 championship in the game. It's like, yeah, there's barely a game that works. Like, yes, there should be that. They have a title that you can't play, you can't use, but like, that's such a small thing compared to all the other things that it just doesn't do or doesn't do well. Yeah, I'm not mad at the developers. I feel bad for them because they are in an unwinnable situation. I do not think it was possible for them to make a good game. And that is a shame and should not be a thing that I've said out loud. Uh, I shouldn't be able to be like, yeah, they're just you can't make a good video game with all the work they put in to try to do one. It's a bummer. Uh, I hope to get to make a good one. I hope that they get a lot of time. Cool. Also that's the problem. So it's like, what do you do? How many resources do you spend fixing this game? You've got to do something, right? I can't imagine that there aren't some people working on bug fixes for this game. So how long do you do that before you go, okay, well, we did what we could. Now it's time to shift focus for next year's game to try to make that something that people will forget about this one. I don't know. I don't know how, I don't know. But they've got to do something. They need to take a year off from making a good first impression. Yeah, I would say taking a year off would be the way to go. They give themselves a skeleton crew for updates. You put out some new modes. You do. You could even theoretically say next year. What you could do is going, hey, we're doing DLC. We're doing a paid expansion for 2K. For whatever, for 20. And that way you can stop naming it every year if you want to do that. You can just be like, yeah, here's the expansion pack for last year. We made some cool shit. Hello! WrestleMania 2000 and No Mercy still exists. Yes. Sazabi, hello. I mean, look, the creator stuff still works. The creative mode still works in it. That still looks pretty good. They're fixing a lot of bugs with the Chikara game. I'm hoping that works out good. Bomb. It is H-Bomb. The H-Bomb is here. So that's good. I'm glad that is working, that they're making some strides in the in Chikara, because it's a great time to put out a wrestling game that is not the WWE game. Literally, all they need to do is start advertising their game with the Chikara wrestling game. When things get weird, it's in our game, it's on purpose. That's all they need to do. Just be like, yeah, it's supposed to be this weird. Our weird is on purpose. We're trying what we do. Sazabi, you just got yourself a nickname. Sazabi's just giving Harold a nickname. I think that is a thing that people think that when they see H-Bomb, they some guy has Rocket in his name. Congratulations, you're Rocket Man now. Indeed. Just getting yourself a nickname. Of course, H-Bomb is a nickname for Harold. I know his name is Harold. 22. But yeah. Look, I don't know what to tell y'all. My hope is that people that spend their hard-earned money on that game find some fun in it and find some enjoyment in it. I'll say this. I didn't buy it. I don't have plans to. I already got my bummer game of the year. Infinite Soup, hello, welcome. Happy to have you here. Welcome. We're working on our Astray Blue frame. We're working on, it's leg day here, so we're working on some leg stuff. So I was about to say Infinite Soup. My bummer game is John Wick Hex. Now, to be fair, I did pre-order it, which I don't normally do because Epic was doing a sale on the pre-order. So I got it for a very reasonable price. So I didn't spend a lot of money on it, but I didn't enjoy my time with it, and I really like John Wick as a franchise. I enjoy the movies, and I wanted to like the game, but yeah, I don't remember how much it was when I pre-ordered it. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find it in my email. So I pre-ordered it for $8. I got it for $8. which is a $8 for a video game. That's pretty good, but it's just not what I would like. Apparently, Sazabi has given me the nickname Pat Bear Pig, which is, of course, South Park reference. It seemed real cool in theory. Yeah, here's the thing. There already is a John Hex game, and it's called Super Hot. Super Hot is the John Hex game, John Wick game. Sorry, I'm very tired. The John Wick game, that's what I wanted to say. The John Wick game that we all wanted is Super Hot. Or possibly, if you're very good at Hitman 2 or Hitman. Superior VR is the John Wick simulator. Oh yeah, Superior VR. That is very cool. You're not wrong. But I meant that because I played Super Hot. I haven't played Superior VR. I don't have any VR stuff. I've played some VR stuff, but I don't own any of it, so I don't really think about it. But yes, there are out there. There are ways to enjoy games that aren't, but could be a John Wick game. Distinct lack of Keanu, though. Yeah, you're not wrong, but yeah, I just didn't love it. And like I said, I spent $8 on it. I have made bigger mistakes. I spent more money on things that were bad than $8 this year. Certainly, I'm sure I will do it again. But it's disappointing. I would have liked to have enjoyed it, that game, because also, like I said, I was spending money on it. The Colonel Sanders game isn't good, but it was also free, and also the Colonel Sanders game. So the fact that it was anything is interesting. So it's expectations are a little different on that. I spent $80 on Fallout 76, so don't beat yourself up, says Leo. Hey, Leo, look, and I've said this. There are some people out there that genuinely enjoy Fallout 76, and I'm happy for them. I didn't pick it up because it didn't seem to be the things. It didn't seem to do the things I like about the modern Fallout games, 3, New Vegas, and 4. They were going a different direction, so I wasn't interested in that. Those people are wrong. Yeah, but they like what they like, and I'm not faulting for that. You mean Rihanna Keeves? Can I say something? One of my boys was under attack by 2 elitists. I spent money on Fallout 76. Yeah, some people genuinely really enjoy some Fallout 76. Here's the thing about this premium thing. The fact that some of the people I love on YouTube who do Fallout, who used to do, they don't really do it anymore. They used to do Fallout 4 settlement crafting and builds and cool things. They're going to be able to do more of that in Fallout 76 because they don't have to worry about jerks, because they'll just be well, no one's on the server but me, or maybe a couple of my friends, and they'll be able to be more creative and hopefully get to do even cooler things. And I'm excited about that because I'll go back to watching some of those videos and seeing what they're working on. So I'm excited about that part. But that's kind of it. Other than that, I'm whatever. Actual crap and not kish batching. That's a bummer. Sazabi, that's a real bummer. I'm sorry to hear that. We don't really deal with haters too much. Occasionally people come in here because, I have Gunpla in the title. Part is if you made the mistake a lot of people make with the Outer Wilds, Outer Worlds. Yeah, Outer Worlds seems cool. I mean, I loved New Vegas, and I'm interested in it. I don't know. I definitely don't have the time for a new big game, so I don't know when I would do it. It would probably be sometime next month once I've kind of gotten settled into what I'm doing with my time right now. But I am interested in it. It looks cool. Like I said, around here, I put Gunpla in the title. That does. I'm in Makers and Craft. That does draw some people's attention. Some people come in to see what I'm doing, and the only time people are ever like really annoying is like what year was this came out? So this kit came out in 2014, right? Well, I wasn't building model kits in 2014 because I had given up the hobby for a number of years, right? So to some people, this is an old kit. And why would I bother making it when there are kits that came out this year that I should be building, right? We do have 2 kits that came out this year that are new, or at least look new. Uh, and so some people are like, they're not interested in. But to me, this is like a kit. I haven't built this version. This is new to me. I'm excited to do it. Yeah, Infinite there is. Or like I'll do Lego, right? I love doing Lego. And I know that not everybody that watches the stream likes the Lego builds. They prefer the Gunpla builds because they're more interested in Gunpla than Lego. And there are a few people out there that No Man's Sky. Okay. There are some people out there that like the Lego builds, and they're not really interested in Gunpla, but they like Lego because they really love Lego. And most of y'all just like the streams and hanging out and chatting with people, and you're interested in what's going on with me and what's going on in my neck of the woods. And then in general, like also just maybe you're just like, I don't want to watch another video game stream. This is something different. I like cool robots and cool people. Yeah, I mean, my community is very nice. Y'all are great. The regulars are great. Ultron, yeah, I mean, some people just like, they're just not as into it, and they're annoyed that I'm doing something that they don't want to see. And for the most part, I'm like fine with that. Sazabi, I saw a clip of that guy. Yeah. He's the guy who's building the Sazabi version Kai with his feet. And like, cool, man. Someday, maybe I'll get to the point where I am so bored with regular model kit building that I just need to do something real wild instead. We're not there yet. We might be there someday, but we're not there yet. Right now, I'm still interested in building kits the traditional way. Also, I have no idea if I could pull that off. Maybe I could. Oh, he doesn't have any arms. That's a different story, Sazabi. That's a different story than, oh, what if I could do this with my hands? What if I could do this with my legs instead? This is somebody that can't, so they figured out a way to do it. And that fucking rules. That's awesome. Building a kit without instructions or building a random kit blindfolded. Yeah, I would love to do a blind Lego set, like just like a small like kit, like you just look at the photo, something like that. I think that could be fun. I don't know if I would want to do a Gunpla set blind. I think that might be less fun because there'd just be a lot of staring at, like, just me just going like, I don't know, where would that go? Like, I don't know how entertaining that would be. That would maybe make a good video like sped up. But I do like the idea of someday I might do that. I might just do like that. To me, feels like a good Lego build. You did like a high grade. A high grade might be fun. That might be fun. Just doing like a put together a high grade and see what you can do. All right, we finished the legs. It's time for the waist. Waist pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Let's get some pieces together for this. 14. 2. Okay. Get our connector pieces here. 13 is this one. 7. Nice and easy. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Great. Boy, these black pieces sure vanish on my Blast desktop. Yeah, Leo. Uh, Obviously, this is an off-white, but I have found that this is like... when I first started building here in my apartment, I had a black table that I used. It was it was just like a folding table, nice and easy, very portable, easy to move. Um, there was a Lego set. I did a Star Wars Lego set, and pieces were just so hard to find that I ended up just putting down a white trash bag and just building on the trash bag. And I was like, that way I can see the pieces. But yeah, this has been great. There's very few times where I can't find what I'm looking for on it. Because I know people that have like black build mats. Wanting to buy a desk scythe. Hell. Just to buy a black 2.0. No, I mean that's kind of like that's been the thing about building is also for a lot of Lego stuff where there's like dark gray and light gray, having these lights, my overhead lights or my wash lights for the green screen is very helpful because I've sometimes tried to separate them off stream and I have to turn the lights on because my eyes aren't great about telling light gray and dark gray apart. Or there's a navy blue that's in some Lego sets that sometimes I think is another color. Because we'll just do the experiment here. Like, green screen's still working with one light, but the difference here, I'm going to turn it back on. If you're sensitive to light stuff, you want to look away. It really does, like, obviously it adds some shadows, but it really does, like, brighten up the workspace and make my life way easier. Luckily, when I was in Seattle and I did 2 streams, the Lego streams, both places I did there were well lit, and that was very helpful. When I did I actually borrowed a light in Philly last year when I did my build stream in Philly when I was at Airbnb. I actually borrowed a light from the living room because the bedroom, and people saw some photos and a little bit of video of that place, was terrifying and weird. And poorly lit. There was a lot of red light bouncing around. So I had to borrow a lamp so that I could see what I was doing when I was building. And it's still one of the weirdest places I've ever stayed in. That blue frame would look badass with a violet frame and black armor with the orange turned silver. Sazabi, you're not wrong. Here's the thing. I love the blue and orange. To me, like, obviously, it's the blue frame. There's a lot of cool about this kit, but it feels unique. You don't see a lot of orange in Gundam. You see some of it, just not a lot. When a kit has just a different color, just like a different scheme, like sometimes that's purple. I'm gonna like. Just, I'm going to actually look something up here for a second. Yeah, no, I mean, just like, I don't know. I think about that. I try to think about that now and again about, like, what kits really stand out as just being different. And that always makes me happy to build them is when they've got, like, a maroon color. Like, that always really strikes my fancy. Like, the Zaku 2, the RE100 Zaku 2 from, the FZ has that like forest green and a light green color. It's got these interesting green colors that I really like. And obviously, if you want a Zaku, a red Zaku 2 is the way to go. Duh, I get that. But like that's just a beautiful looking color. Like there's some like the Justice Gundam, like that maroon I think is beautiful. The Tallgeese 3 is just almost all white, right? White and that beautiful blue. Like the contrast of those two colors together. And obviously, a lot of Gundams in Gunpla have have white in them. But the tall geese has that like just the tall geese 3. It's just like tall geese 2, the blue and white, obviously same thing. I think it really speaks more on the 3 because of its use of gold as well. Um, I don't know. Hey, obviously Wing is what got me into this. So I love a good Black Gundam. Death Sight's my favorite. But also, like, I can really appreciate the Epion, which is in my top 3 kits. Definitely. Because the Epion is just beautiful. Just a gorgeous kit. Just a great, great, great kit. I don't know. We're talking about colors. I like a lot of different ones. Zaku 2FC charts custom, even though it doesn't exist. It'd be cool. Suzabi, that's the thing. You're not wrong. It would be cool. I love the greens in that kit, though. I think the greens in that kit are fantastic, and the little bit of red, I think it goes together so well that like I'm into that color scheme. But I also, yeah, that would be a cool looking kit in red. You're not wrong. Um, but like I said, I do appreciate, and I'm trying to appreciate more. Sorry, I dropped some stuff. I'm going to pick it up now. I'm trying to appreciate more when kits have color schemes that are not traditional, right? Everything would look cooler in Char's colors. Yeah, you're not wrong, Suzabi. You're totally right. All right, so this is gonna go. I picked the wrong. This is B. I need B8. Pulled the wrong piece, so I'll put it aside. Got focused on talking about stuff. Sometimes I pick the wrong thing. Harold, you have a great night. Great to see you, my friend. Thank you for hanging out on a Wednesday evening with me. I will see you on Saturday for streaming if I don't see you on the internet before that. Have a good one. But yeah, hopefully. Saturday will be the next build stream. I'm not doing a game stream this week because of the new job stuff, and I'm covering a bunch. Like I'm working. I'm teching tomorrow night and Friday night and Sunday night. So I'm not going to do an extra stream this week. I'm just doing my 3 build streams. So my next stream will be Saturday, where I will talk about. I'll catch up on the anime that I've missed out on, but also just like I'm really looking forward to Saturday because right now I have no plans, and I think I'm gonna go have brunch with a couple friends, but that's like it. That's like my plans, and I just need it. Last Saturday was very busy, and I was happy about it, but it was still very busy leading into the stream. So I'm going to try to do less busy because Saturday is the only day where I only have. That's not fair. Yesterday, I only had my day job. Saturday's the only day where I don't have the day job that I'm doing, and I don't have any teching to do, which rules. And there are days where like today, where I work the day job and I stream. And there are days where I, like tomorrow, work the day job and then tech, also on Friday. And then Sunday is the day where I just have my tech job. And it's just one show, which is nice. And then we're doing a little party because they're moving venues. So that's also going to be nice. But, yeah, I'm trying to not overwhelm myself. Like, believe me, I would have been very tired if I had to go if I streamed at 6:30 to 8:30 like originally was planning to, and then at 8:30 left here to rush to tech. I would have been very tired by the time I got to the tech portion of my night. It was only going to be one show, and it would have been easy to do, but it would have taken a lot out of me, and I'm glad I'm not doing all 3. Eventually, I'll get into the rhythm of it. Also, like my day job right now, I'm in like training mode. And once I get into rhythm mode of just doing it, it will be easier. Like once I'm not second guessing myself and being quizzed and in meetings and doing all that stuff. Once I could just like focus on the job, then I'll just get into the rhythm of the job. And it'll be a thing. And then also, I can't not care about what I do, but I will also get into a position where can be on autopilot a little bit, which I am not currently on autopilot. And I wasn't on autopilot last week, and like, it's a lot. So the hope is that eventually I can start getting a little bit on autopilot and a little bit just like going through the motions. We had a little spike there and then we had a little drop there. That's okay. That's fine. We will take a pause for the cause in a moment or two. I will talk about ways you can support the stream. Anime Talk is upcoming. If you've been waiting for Anime Talk, that is on its way. But as I said, I have 5 shows that come out on Wednesday, and I watched. Did I watch 4? Yeah, I got 4 in. It's pretty good. It's also like not the best. Like I'll say, I was definitely like not as paying attention as much as I could have been to one of the shows because I was like, oh, I just watched a bunch of anime. All right, I'll watch this one too. Okay, let me finish this off. Yeah, I wasn't as engaged as I could have been. All right, that's it for E. We're making some progress. When these sheets start emptying out, you know we're doing pretty good. We're getting closer. But yeah, but I will definitely tonight watch Ascendance of a Bookworm because that's the one I didn't watch because I didn't want to. Well, I just didn't have the time to watch it. The nice thing about streaming on Thursday is that Wednesday night I can catch up on shows that I didn't watch during the day. The problem with streaming Wednesday night right now is that all the shows I want to watch come out on Wednesday. That anime is so good. I'm really liking that show. Yeah, Ascendance of Bookworm. I like it. I just it's low on my list of Wednesday shows. Right, like there's one that I definitely going to be watching immediately, and then there are a couple that I'm like, oh, I'll watch this next. Here's the thing. If I'm already in Hulu, because I'm going to already be in Hulu because the number one show I want to watch on Wednesday comes out, it's on Hulu. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm already here. I might as well watch the other Hulu shows, and then I'll switch to the other ones that are on Crunchyroll. That's kind of how I'm looking at it right now. And that seems to work out pretty well for me. But yeah, I will watch it because I still like it. And then I have to watch High School Prodigies Have Easy Even in Another World, which is a Thursday show. It's my Thursday show, so I'll watch that tomorrow or Friday or whatever. And then Friday I have a bunch of shows to watch. And then I will pick a Friday show and not watch it and then be able to talk about it Saturday or Sunday because I'll have a lot of shows to talk about on Saturday, and I only have 2 shows to talk about on Monday. So I'll pick one of them. I don't know which one it'll be. It'll be either Fire Force. It'll probably be Fire Force. Of the shows that come out on Friday and Saturday, that's the one I like the least. But if I don't have time to watch We Never Learn and My Hero, it might be one of those 2. But I'm going to try to watch them because they're great. A lot of good anime right now, folks. And we'll talk about my current favorite anime show after a pause for the cause. What? We're taking a pause for the cause right now? Yes. Yes, we are. It's a pause for the cause. It's the time of the stream where I talk about what's going on with me. Castlevania is where is my Castlevania? Season 3, yeah. If you are currently a subscriber, let's throw, as many people are, the Bear Cave, the Lego, Scythe if you're a tier 2. Thank you very much, those that are subscribing. If you're not subscribing, consider it. You could use your Twitch Prime coin by linking your Amazon account with your Twitch account. You use Cash Money if you'd like to do that. Make sure at the very least you're following and you turn your notifications on so you know when I stream. If you can't subscribe, I get it. I understand. I'm taking my keyboard over here so that I can write keyboard commands in because I'm using Nightbot now. So you could also Join my Patreon. If you're watching this after the fact on YouTube, you can check the show description for links to all this. Patreon. I'm shooting a Q&A, even though it's not yours, but Death Scythe anyway. Yeah, indeed. So this weekend I'm shooting a Q&A. $1 a month on my Patreon gets access to a monthly Q&A that only goes out to the Patreon. $5 you get videos early. $10 you get videos early, and you get to vote on kits. I'll put a poll up of what I'm going to do after the next kit that I'm building, because the next kit came off my wish list. Speaking of wish list, if you would like, this was bought off wish list. I have an Amazon wish list. If you would like to buy something on the wish list, I'll build it early. I have one thing waiting for me to build next that Ultron picked up. Thank you, Ultron. But I will put a poll up for my $10 Patreons. If when we finish the blue frame, if I have two things in my wish list queue, we'll do a vote. But yeah, I've got small little things that are $10 kits. I've got bigger sets. I've got $100 model kits. I've got, like I said, Lego, and I mentioned the RE100 Zaku 2 FZ that I think is like just a cool looking kit. That's one that's on 15 cents off. You buy it on Amazon, it gets mailed to me with a note. I love that. That is a way to support the stream. People are just putting the goose and the honk emote in there, which I appreciate. Another way to support the stream is USA Gundam Store. You could buy a gift card at USA Gundam Store, and then send it to me on Twitter in a DM, because my DMs are open, or send it to me as a whisper here on Twitch. If you take that, I will take that. I will use it to buy kits. Also, donations. Here are ways to donate. Various ways to donate. And then anything I make through someday YouTube. I'm going to look up my AdSense right now. Will someday YouTube will send me money. I will make enough through videos. It will not be today, but someday I will make over $100 again, and they will pay me out. But yeah, it goes to buying model kits because it's an expensive habit, and hobby as well. Hobby and habit. I meant to say hobby, but apparently I had a Freudian slip there. Join my Discord if you'd like, and then I have to manually put in these background of characters. I put a new background of characters up today. It's really quick. This is one of my shortest ones, but it's just a silly little thing. They're just improvised, and they're fun. And then, of course, you all know about exclamation point goose and exclamation point honk. And then, all right, we're going to talk about anime. That was that. I'm going to drink water first because I haven't done that at all in this stream, and that's bad. It's been over an hour since I had a sip of water. Hydration. All right. Hell yeah. That's helpful and good. All right, anime. I listed the shows that I'm going to talk about here. We'll go in order of day of release, which is yesterday and today. All right. Okay, so Black Clover. Fuck yeah, Black Clover. Last week's episode was all about teamwork and friendship and people coming together. We had the character that only Asta really hung out with, Henry, finally having a meal with his teammates, and that was great. Gordon talking in a normal voice because he's just so goddamn happy. More weird magic coming out of Charmy. Like, the gang's all here, Luck is back and okay, everyone was happy, and it was great. And they're going to go off in the base, that the house they live in, which has been transformed by Henry into a mobile, basically it's a made out of stone and magic bull, because they're the black bulls, charging off to help people, right? And they do. And they kick ass while doing it. The elves are no joke, and they stomp some elves really well. People get to use their magic in a cool way. Henry's part of the team, and it's great. Again, in this episode, Gordon is talking in a normal speaking voice. That's the guy that whispers that looks like Marilyn Manson. He's using his magic, which he's always scared of. The vibe is good and fun. And then characters that were bad guys that we thought were dead. They were dead for a little while, but they managed to pull through, and they're not dead anymore. And they show up, and they're like, we're going to help you. And Asta's like, not the way you want to. And the shonen thing happened, guys. The shonen thing happened. Folks that were enemies that not too long ago tried to destroy their base. Well, they were being used this whole time anyway. And so they're like, well, we don't really know what to do. We got to figure out what's going on. I guess we'll help you out. So the bad guys are helping out the good guys, one of whom doesn't want to do it, but it's a very shonen thing. It's 100% a shonen thing of just like, well, I guess we're friends now? Probably not friends, but definitely not as much enemies. And everyone's having a good time, and it's fun. There was one sad little moment in the beginning, but not really too sad. And that leads me to my theory. Now, I do not read Black Clover, the manga. Sorry. Ooh, I'm burping now. Apologize. That is unprofessional. I very much apologize for that. Speaking so fast and so much right now. Black Clover, this episode and last week's episode was awesome. Friendship, found family, the ties that bind people together. Good shit all around. Something awful is going to happen. No spoilers, because I don't know what it is. But like, things are going too good. And two, the end theme for this part of this chunk, this arc, the end theme is really sad, and Asta looks really sad. So that's not good. Our boy is sad in the end thing, which means that something bad's gonna happen. Because as I said, I don't know what. I don't know what's gonna happen, but like things are going too well. So like it's bound to have a bummer episode coming up. But overall, it was very fun and very cute. And it's so hard to tell people to watch a show, like, for me to be like, hey, episode 108 and 107 were great of Black Clover. Like, I get that is a nonsense thing for me to say, but it's true. They were very good episodes, and I very much enjoyed them, and I'm looking forward to more of them. Moving on to After School Dice Club, a.k.a. the best anime of this season, the best new show, my favorite thing, the thing I look forward to on Wednesdays to watch, the first show I watch on Wednesdays, is After School Dice Club. Last week's episode was emotional. It was complex. It focused on our main character. Today's episode, it did the thing that anime does, right? It took the slice of life does. It took a thing that nobody cares about, or that characters would care about in high school, but right now you and I don't care about. Showed why they care about it and why they're thinking about it, and then used the premise of the show in order to explore it. In this case, our student council, or our class president, the student council wants her back. We get introduced to a new character. They have history. It's a whole thing. We've had characters that are like, I don't know what's going on with games, like the boy in the second episode. But we finally had our character that's like, what's the big deal about board games? These are old and lame. Why do you care about this? Come do what you want to do. Your dream is dumb. We finally had that. We had that big moment where a character from the outside is trying to interfere with what's going on the inside. So, fuck that. Uh, and it was fun, right? We learned why why she works at Midori, I should say. We learned why Midori works at the game store, why she's obsessed with games. We find out she wants to become a game author. And then also, and I'm going to make sure I say his name right, in the flashback where she learns what a game author is and who made the game she's playing and why that's important, the anime makes a point to tell you about Alex Randolph. Alex Randolph is a game designer who, beyond being a game designer and a game author, was also someone that spearheaded the movement to put the name of the designer on the game. So it wasn't just like Milton Bradley or whatever. It was the name of the person who made it was on the box. It allowed creators to take some ownership over the things they worked on and for people to know people by name, not just by company. And I'm like I get a little worked up because like this show, After School Dice Club, cares so much about the world of games that it like decided and a very important thing to do would be to have a teaching moment about games and like game history as a way to show why a character cares and why she wants to be a game creator and why that fucking rules. And they even compare it to like manga artists and writers and anime creators and directors. Like they make that connection. And of course, because the two things that the After School Dice Club are about is games are rad and friendship fucking rules. That's the two things about this show. So of course, she says she wants to be a game author, and her friends, who an episode ago, she was one of the friends that was like, you don't bully our friend. We don't have that. I don't care if you're my sister's friend. You don't bully my friend. To this week, they're like, you want to be a game author. That fucking rules, and you rule. And we're supporting you. And I just threw a piece that was in my hands because I was pointing so hard at you as I was making my point that I now have to go get this piece that I just dropped. I'm getting hot right now talking about this. But it's just so fucking awesome. It's just cute and fun. And then at the very end of the episode, there's a character that we don't know anything about, but she has been in the opening song. So you knew she was coming. If she wasn't in the opening song, I would have assumed from this episode, I can't see where that piece went. I dropped a piece and so I'm looking for it right now. I would have assumed from this episode that the character, the student council vice president, was going to be the next character in the show because she's drawn like a supporting main character. But now I don't think she is because there's the blonde lady and she overhears them talking about games. I found the piece. And now she's psyched about maybe she's going to join. I don't know. I don't know where it's going with that. Anyway, After School Dice Club is available on Hulu. It is my favorite show this season. Right behind it is Didn't I Say to Make My Abilities Average in the Next Life, which is just a great show and a great play on the trope of isekais. In my opinion, there's only one actual isekai this season. There are a bunch of isekais, but High School Prodigies is the only one that is just an isekai. And it's a group isekai, but it's still just an isekai. So it's still playing with it because it's not just one dude. Because all the other ones are goofy versions of the idea. And that's weird because all of them are that. That is weird. It is strange that all of the isekais except for Prodigies are just like playing with the concept of. Obsessed with playing with the concept of. So that brings us to one of those, which is the hero is overpowered but overly cautious. Cautious hero. I didn't love this episode. I like this show. There's a lot to like about it. Um, I will say that this one I didn't like as much as the last one. Most of the episode was focused on him training our hero, the main guy, and he's fine. He learned more about the world. There is a fun bit where he pours holy water on a priest, and the priest turns out to be undead because there's problems with the undead, and he's aware of that. And you're like, oh, does he have some ability that allows him to see that the priest was? He goes, no, he was just pouring holy water on it to see. He was being overly cautious. And there's a okay-ish fun gag where where he's got new allies, and he's just like, nope, don't need them. No thanks. And they're like, but we could help because we're Dragonborn, and we could get... He's like, nope. And it was kind of funny, but not super funny. I never watched that anime, but I really like the OP. Also, the one of the... if you've ever seen Overlord, one of the theme songs to Overlord, the artists, the band, is the same band that does Cautious Heroes song, which is perfect because it is playing with the genre of an isekai and awareness. Yes, yeah, Myth and Roid. Because they're playing with, they literally have them doing the song, and that's fucking really good. It's really, really smart to like have the same band that does another isekai, a very popular isekai, do your show. Is really smart. All right, so we're gonna put our legs on here. Oh, I did miss a step. I realize now I gotta go back and do a thing, and we'll do that really quick. It's just 2 pieces, but I did miss 2 pieces. So let's do that real quick. Oh, they did the OP for ReZero too. Yes, you're right. I forgot about that. And then what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. There was a couple gags. It was fine. Like that show is. I mainly watched it today over other things because I had to kind of decide what I was going to watch today and what order I was going to watch them in. I kind of decided to watch that because they took a week off last week, so I was interested in seeing it. And I like the genre of this guy, and I like the self-awareness that it's playing with, and the rules of that world. I think are kind of interesting. But yeah, overall, it was okay. I think the last week's episode was better. Also, better last week than this week is Kemono Michi. I don't have a lot to say about this week's Kemono Michi. It was fine. It felt like nothing happened, and they're not going really. Nothing really was great about it. There was a bit where they were all trying to get jobs, like part-time jobs, that was kind of funny because it would be like, this character doing a thing well, this character doing a thing well, this character doing a thing well. And then as it went, a couple of them were getting worse while one was still doing well. But then there was the vampire, and every shot of the vampire was her just running from villagers who were chasing her, which I thought was very funny. And then you would assume because she's a vampire, oh, they were chasing her out of town because she was trying to get a job, and they were like, you're a fucking vampire, get out of here. But instead it was every town she went to, they thought she was a prostitute, and then when she would take their money and then not do that, they would chase her because she had not been a prostitute, which was not the payoff I was looking for. I like the joke of people are scared of me because I'm a fucking vampire. I think that's a funnier gag than they thought I was a prostitute. I'm not. There was, and also within that gag, there was another gag where there is the person that is just a big ant was a bartender and dressed in a as like a bartender, and that was good. I like that. I like that. Overall, it's not a great show, and it sucks because it should be. Photos in Discord, Leo says. I'll check that out after. Thank you very much, Leo, for putting photos up, and congrats on completing the build. We are working. We're getting far in this build. Saturday, we got to build the backpack. We have ways to go, but I think we'll finish it up. Obviously, we still got to build tonight, but I think that on Saturday we're going to complete this and start our next build. But right now we got more swords to build, and I've got more anime to talk about. Anyway, Kemono Michi. I don't fucking know. It's an anime. It's an isekai where the main character is a professional wrestler who doesn't want to fight. And that should be awesome. It should be the best anime of the year. It should be my anime that I'm so excited to talk to you about. And I was worried because it was Konosuba's creator. And I don't love Konosuba. And I should have been worried about it. And I wasn't. I decided not to be worried about it. And now I am paying the goddamn price for not being worried about that show. Because it is not as good as it could be. It's not what I want from it. And that sucks. Because I really want to like it. Hey, today's Radiant was good. Not a lot happened. We learned more about some magic. But Grimm was there. If you don't watch Radiant, Grimm is a character who he's just a guy who's wrapped up like a zombie and is some kind of like a Grim Reaper. And he's weird. And he was a villain, but not really a villain. But yes, a villain. And then he's a good guy, but not really a good guy. He's just complicated. He's a weird character. But it was nice to see Grimm. I like Grimm. Yeah. Oh, and also, we met the goddess. He's a shady figure. Yeah, Christian, he's just like, I'm excited to learn more about him. Here's the thing. People just see what they want to see. It's just that Grimm is living outside of, he's just living outside of your rules, man. He's just doing his own thing. He's just got stuff going on and, like, knows what's up. He's not a fan of your system, man. I do like Grimm. I think Grimm is cool. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so there's also a whole thing about the goddess in this land, and like, I mean, she's a goddess, so you do you. But I appreciate that this goddess is like, in the same way that the king is just like a little dog weirdo, or last season, this goddess is just like, hey, your head's not bowed enough. No, I care about what's going on, but like, you should be praising me a little bit more, right? Am I right? Cool. She's just like, not as like chaste as you would assume. Or not chaste. Chaste is the wrong word. She's a character. She's got a character to her, and I like that. I'm interested in learning more about her and the world of Radiant as Radiant continues, because I don't know. I liked more of it. Also, the Dragoon character, the flying animal character, had a weird voice, and then Seth goes, "That's a weird voice coming out of that thing," which I appreciate. As always, it is very strange to me that the main character of a shonen is named Seth. Just feels like a weird name for, like, when I think of, like, Melodious or, like, Boruto. Seth. Okay. It's just still strange to me. It's Radiant Season 2. I don't know. Not setting my mind on fire, but I was more interested in watching that than look, it's Greg, right? Yeah. Uh, I was more interested in that than watching a sentence of a bookworm. As I said, I just keep waiting for that to get like really fucking sad and awful. I don't know what's going on with that show. I I know, Christian, you're into it, but yeah, I don't know. Sentence of bookworm. It's just not doing it for me. I'll watch it because I still don't. I don't dislike it. None of the shows I'm watching right now. Kenny, Kemono Michi. I'm worried about, and I might be done with it because I'm not loving it. That's the one I'm whatever. And then I'm kind of like about what show was it? Oh, I like it, but I'm feeling conflicted about We Never Learned season 2, mostly because it doesn't feel like the second season of this anime. It feels like just more of the same, and that's a bummer. Okay, so look, we built more swords. I'm putting a sword on here. Goes in like this. I don't know how it, oh, it goes in like this. Wait, how do these look in? I gotta look. So these are obviously swords. Our hero can hold them. Our Gundam can use them. Oh, and then they just slide in there. That's cool. I like functional sides of the waist. The skirt, a lot of times, I think, are just there and they're just there because that's what Gundams have, and I don't always love that. I think honestly more kits should be like the heavy arms, right? The heavy arms is just like, I don't know, put rocket launchers there. Yeah, that's where some rockets go. Or at the very least, like, that should be where it holds things. In this case, it's swords. Because this thing loves swords. And then we got the Striker, our backpack. We're going to start building our backpack here. But first, we have to marry the top and bottom. We are body complete, other than the backpack. But yeah, we will be body complete in just a moment. I just have to do this in a way that doesn't do anything bad. And also, try not to stab myself with the many swords that are on this kit. So right now, this kit is holding 2, 4, 8 swords. And we still have more swords. Not many more swords, but we still have several more swords. And some of them are more like daggers, but this thing has more swords, so don't worry about it. If you're like, we're out of swords, we are not out of swords. I am out of anime to talk about, though. But yeah, I'll watch A Sentence of a Bookworm and High School Prodigies leading in, and I don't know what show I'm not going to watch, like, because right now, on Saturday, I would talk about 3, 6, 7 shows. I probably won't talk about 7 shows by Saturday. There'll probably be one show I didn't watch, because that's a lot of anime. Also, speaking of anime, next Monday will be my next Pat Bear's Anime Club, episode 3 of Pat Bear's Anime Club. It's the Halloween one. I'm going to be talking about a spooky show, and I think 3 shows that are not spooky, but are monster or Halloween-ish related. I thought that would be a nice compromise because I don't like horror anything. So I watched a horror. Last Sunday I binged through most of and then finished up later 12-episode anime that is available to stream because that was important to me. Because some people were like, "Oh, you should watch this movie or you should watch this series," and I was like, "Yeah, but no one can watch it." I mean, honestly, to the point where I was going to talk about I'll say this: one of the shows that I'm not going to talk about in my This involves monsters and stuff, but is a cool show, and it is not scary. It's a romantic comedy show. Is Karen, which is also or Karen, which is also called like Clumsy Vampire or something like that. I can't remember what the name is. It's got a bad other name. But that's a romantic comedy about a family of vampires that moves to a small town, and the one of the daughters can go to regular school because she's a reverse vampire. And in this instance, reverse vampire means she produces blood. She produces an excess of blood. And she has to bite people to transfer that blood into them. And it's a romantic comedy about a dude that decides he's going to protect her and help her. That he like meets her and then instantly is just like, you're awesome. What do you need me to do to make sure you're safe? She's like a super donor. Yeah. And there's an effect that people have as a euphoria when she does it. It's a cute show. You can't stream it anywhere. It's not on any streaming service. And in fact, the company that first brought it here to the United States went out of business. So another company picked it up. So the DVDs are expensive. I watched it as a fan sub back in the day because it wasn't properly licensed on a streaming service. So there's no way to watch Karen legally. So I wasn't going to mention it in my video. But I figured, I can mention it here because we're just talking about anime and stuff. But yeah, Karen is cute. It's a really fun show. Her little sister is like probably an incredible vampire and like is real weird. It's there's a lot going on in it, and like it's a fun show. It's a good cute show that I like. And I liked all the characters and the family and all that, and they're like a vampire family like accepting a human because he can help her because they can't go out during the day, but you know, he can help look out for her and all that. Like there's a lot to like about the show, and it was a good time. It's just tough to kind of recommend. I also didn't talk about is it How to Mummy anime. How to Keep a Mummy. Keep was the word I couldn't think of. How to Keep a Mummy is just a really cute show, but like it's not enough for a Halloween thing. It's just a cute show. I mean, because it's like there's a mummy, but there's also a little Oni child and a dragon and a thing that eats dreams, and like it's much more a show about Japanese folklore than it is and also a mummy than it is a show about like monsters and spooky stuff. It's good, don't get me wrong, and don't get it twisted. That's a good show. But it's How to Keep a Mummy is just cute. Also, the end credit song is fucking adorable and cool, and it's like a slice of life show, except the last episode is a two-parter, and at the end of episode like 11 or whatever, suddenly it gets dramatic as fuck, and you're like, holy shit, what the fuck's happening right now? No. It was a big old cliffhanger. Now you can just watch the next episode. But I had to wait a week, and I was like, what the fuck? Freaked me out. So I'm not going to talk about the horror show that I watched because I want to talk about it during the video. And I still have to collect my thoughts about it. That's like a thing, just gotta make sure I'm thinking about it the right way, and I've collected my thoughts properly and all that. But it's like the third show that I tried to start watching. I just hate horror so much that I couldn't do it on some shows. I mean, this one's tough. It's got some tough moments, but it also is weird, and I found that's my ticket. is that like, okay, yeah, people are getting murdered and this is fucked up, but also, what's your goddamn deal? Why are you like this? What's happening right now? What the fuck? I need that apparently. Um, like it's a suspense show, not really a horror show. I wouldn't call Paranoid Agent a horror show. I wouldn't call it that. You could, but I wouldn't. I started that show was messing me up, and I wasn't loving it. But god damn it, if I didn't need to know, I needed to know the answers. I needed to know what the fuck was going on. I was like, what is this? Why is this? What the fuck is happening right now? If I get interested in a show like that, then I will continue to watch it. But I need to know. Because otherwise I'm just like, you know what? Fuck this. I am like, no main character in any horror anime is ever like, in which I decide that, you know what? I do not need to know why this is happening. Let me just get out of here. Including the anime, the horror anime I'm going to be talking about in the video, which will go live on Monday. Sunday if you're a subscriber. Wink, wink. If you're a patron, $5 level patron will get that on Sunday. Everybody else will get it on Monday. But yeah, the main character in that show, there are times where he should just be like, you know what? Fuck all this. I'm not going into this store, this creepy store. Oh, so you want me to go in this creepy store and then go downstairs into an even creepier part of this creepy ass store? Yeah, I guess I'm going to do that. Why? I don't fucking know. I guess I got to. Fuck out of here with that shit. Alright, we're working our backpack here. You can tell when I'm tired because I get a little loopy during streams where I'm kind of like out of it a little bit. I think that's gonna be my Monday and Thursday streams. My Monday streams, like I'll have the weekends, and like Monday I think I was pretty together. I think my Thursday streams are gonna be a little wild because I have been, by Thursday I'll have had like worked all week and like just been inundated in that stuff. I feel like that's gonna be a little nonsensical. Whereas right now I'm like, yeah, just a little out of it. Monday should be okay because I'll only have the one day. And Saturday, hopefully I will have just like be able to relax. So obviously I didn't stream my normal stream. This week was disrupted. Next week should be set. I won't be streaming tomorrow, but I will be streaming on Saturday and then Monday. And then Wednesday night I will be streaming, but it'll be a game stream. It'll be my monthly bonus game stream. We're going to play Jackbox Party Pack 6. I'm excited to do that. I have not played any of it yet, so I am excited to start that with y'all. So that's 1 week from tonight. We'll be doing that, and that'll be cool. And then next Thursday, not tomorrow, but a week from now, is Halloween. And no matter where I am in the next kit that I'm working on, we will pause that. I have some Lego that is Halloween themed. I have a Dracula and a witch, and we're going to put that together, and that's going to be fucking awesome. I've never done a brickhead on stream, so we got one of those, and we got one that's not called a brickhead, but it might as well be. It's a little scene. So we'll do that, and that will be like our Halloween stuff, because we already did our pumpkin carving stream. So now we're just going to do our fun, hopefully fun Halloween-themed Lego stream. And then that won't take 2 hours. So if I'm done with that early, which I assume I will then just go back and continue working on wherever I left off in the next kit that I'm working on. And I'm excited to work on that. I forget what that is called. I'm looking up the name of that kit now because it came from my wish list, and I forget the name of it sometimes because, as I said, I am tired. The next kit that I'll be working on is the the GP04G Gerbera. I mean, it's just a good ass looking Gundam. It's just a good looking main ass cool Gundam. That's an RE100. It's one of the first RE100s. I think it's like the second or third one that came out. It's a little old, but it's cool looking. It's got a good shield. I'm excited to put that together. But that's the next thing we'll be building. And like I said, looking forward to working on that. Next, and like I said, we'll take a break from that. I think that we'll wrap up this on Saturday, and I'll start the next kit. I'm not 100% sure. You know, sometimes master grades take 3 streams, sometimes they take 4. It all depends on how complicated they are and how many internals. Like, it was slow working because these are just like the legs on this thing is just very detailed. There's a lot of pieces of this kit. If you want bang for your buck, a master grade of an Astray frame is a good call because there is a lot of it to build. I would recommend it. It's also I've been enjoying this build. It's a fun build, but like you get a lot for your money. There's a lot of steps and a lot of pieces to these kits, so I would recommend them. A little tricky. The waist has got a weird trickiness to it that the second one I did, I kind of got it, and then it's been a while, so I was like, oh, I forgot how this works. But still good. Still figuring it all out. It's going to go on here. This is going to go like this. Great. This pops in and out. Great. Okay. This goes. Okay. Together. If there's anything you're excited about next couple days, let me know. What's going on with you? Y'all playing games or upcoming games that you're like, I can't wait for this to come out, or I got Game Pass just for this, or whatever. There's stuff going on that you're looking forward to. Let me know. We won't see each other until Saturday, which is a couple days from now. So, yeah, let me know what y'all are excited about. I think I fucked this up, so I got to figure out what I fucked up. I assembled this incorrectly, apparently, so now I'm going to fix that. But yeah, let me know. Chat was quiet tonight, which is okay. You are obviously always allowed to be quiet. If you're just feeling chill, you are allowed to feel chill. But yeah, let me know what's going on. Ultron says, I finally got my NES and Sega Master Systems and the TG16 games working on my NES Classic. Hell yeah. Got a little modding going, getting that going. Hell yeah. Outer Worlds is coming out. Looking forward to it. Dude Wants His Rug. That does look like a fucking cool game that I would be into if I had the time or money for games like that. Play Return to Obra Dinn. Hell yeah, Lord Crashington. That game rules. That game fucking rules. And solving murder mysteries for insurance purposes. Indeed, yes. Yeah, that was on my top 10 games of the year list. Because it is a top 10 game of the year list. And gonna try Outer Worlds on Game Pass, and I might do some Final Fantasy XIV rating with GameSpot for their extra life says. Hell yeah! That sounds cool. Par. Oh, that's right. GameStop is doing some extra life stuff. Yeah, I gotta reach out. As of right now, I am not doing any charity stuff on my own. I am going to reach out to the Giant Bomb folks, Giant Bomb East folks, see if they need me, if they want me, if we can work out a time for me to be able to do it. I'd love to. As of right now, I'm not scheduled to do anything. But I would like to see if I can help out. I think that would be a fun way, and it, in my opinion, is a better way for me to help out is to like be a guest and lighten some load of like I'll come in and say some fun things and let you like focus on other things or just breathe or a little bit. Like when I helped out with Waypoint Vice Games stream. At one point, they realized they had everybody in the office at the same time, so they went up and took a photo and left me alone because I was the guest. And I was like, "Yeah, go take your photo. Take advantage of the time you have right now, please." If I can do that, so like, Alex and Dan can like take a break or something. Like, I want to be able to help the friends out. So I think that'll be it. Um, as I said, I don't know. Rather than like do my own marathon stream and raise like a couple $100, I should be able to go in. Because also like thinking of dumb incentives, like, hey, I'm here. Like the best thing I've ever done was show up and say, hey, we need to hit this amount of money right now, and then Austin Walker and I are going to build Chibi Gundams, some Super Deforms, and we like hit it immediately. And they were like, okay, now do that. Now we are doing this. Like, I've never had a better incentive. This last one was like, we need this amount of money, and then like Danielle was wearing a weird Captain America thing that I got. Like, great, we just hit that immediately. We're doing that right now. Like, that's where I can help out with that kind of thing. And that's what I think, like, come in with an odd thing. Like, okay, Dan and I are going to, Dan's going to build his first Dragon Ball kit with my help. Like, this is what's going to happen on the stream. Like, that's, to me, feels good and feels like a way for me to help people out, help the kids, rather than just being like, oh, I'm going to stream again. Hey, donate. Which, it's good, but we are going to probably wrap it there. I'm going to wrap a little early because I'm a broken record about this, but I'm fucking exhausted, y'all. And the idea of being done a little early sounds good. This is a good stopping point because we're going to just keep working on the backpack. We got to finish the backpack. We got a few more swords to build because, oh yeah, there's still swords. The backpack has swords, and they will. Have you thought about doing a friend of the site stream during Extra Life with Dave Lang? So, Lord Crashington, I had offered that, but they have enough people. Like, Danny's doing 24 hours. Like, they're good on that. The bigger friends of the site have offered to do that. So it would be almost in competition with that instead of taking a shift. I have said if there's a hole in the schedule and they would like me to take that, I would be happy to do that. But instead, yeah, we'll leave that to Lang. We'll leave that to Danny. We'll leave that to Drew. And I think I'll just come in and like for 5 hours, hang out at the office and like be a voice, talk about anime until they don't want me to. Because that's one of my favorite things on the streams is just be like, all right, here's the shows you should be watching right now, folks. If you watch one anime a year, here's the anime I want you to watch. Alex's 24-hour drum thing, the overall note was, Pat, stop talking about anime, because I was just talking about anime. And they were like, no. And I was like, but there's good shows, y'all. Here's some shows to watch. Whatever. It was fun. Pat Bear's Anime Corner. Indeed. Yeah, I'll just do an episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club, but it'll be during Extra Life. That's a pretty funny idea. Tell Dan why you should watch more Dragon Ball series. I mean, the idea of Dan like going back and watching the original Dragon Ball is interesting. But I do want to be like, I should do a presentation, much the way that their panel they did at LA Anime or whatever show they did, that panel they did of like, here are clips of shows you should watch. I think it would be really fun if I just did a segment where I was like, all right, this is Pat Bear's Anime Corner. I'm going to talk about shows I think Dan should watch and just like show clips of anime that I think Dan should check out next. I mean, he's already watching My Hero Academia, which is the show that he should be watching because it is the most approachable show that is shonen but with an American influence. So like, yeah, I think he's already doing that. But like, Dan should watch Gate. Dan would really like Gate. Uh, I think Baki. I think he would like clips of Baki, but he wouldn't like actual Baki. I don't think he would actually like the whole thing. Um, uh, a boxing anime or a fighting anime, he might be into something like that. Uh, hell, he might like the sumo wrestling anime. That might be something he gets into. But Mega Blocks, yeah. Ippo, that's totally possible. But I think he would fucking love Gate. The idea of like Japanese military goes to a fantasy land and kicks the shit out of dragons with missile launchers, and they're just like, oh, look at all those soldiers. They're coming down the hill with their swords. Well, we have guns. Like, Gate is not great at all, and falls into a lot of traps that suck. And its opinions on a lot of things are not awesome. But there's a lot of cool guy stuff happening in that show. So, like, I think he'd be like, what's magic? Oh, wait. Helicopters. Helicopter plays Flight of the Valkyries. Like, I think that is a show that he would just be like, yeah, I'm into it. I don't know. I had a list at one point of shows that I thought he would like. So, people were like, oh, Gintama. And I'm like, no, definitely not. You can't have Dan watch an anime that knows that anime exists. It has to be an anime that is just its thing. It can't know any other anime. Dragon Ball, luckily Dragon Ball Z doesn't spend much time on thinking you know everything about Dragon Ball, which is great, because, like, it does enough of it. Because it sometimes doesn't introduce characters because you should know them. Like, that's rough enough. But you can't have a show that you can't have a show that makes Dragon Ball references. Even if I think Dan would like Blood Lad or the silly See, here's the thing. It's because Dragon Ball Z earns its silly downtime. Its goofy episodes. It's like they want to investigate the episode where they learn to drive. Because they got the characters, right? Once you like the characters. Like, I don't think that Hunter x Hunter, even the 2011 version of Hunter x Hunter, while I think Dan would really like where Hunter x Hunter goes, I think even the 2011 takes too long to get there before there's something for Dan to be like, okay. So, like, Shonen is tough because so much of the beginnings of Shonen is just like, well, this character's gonna be awesome, but, like, they gotta go through it for a little bit. So unless it's a show that starts awesome and then flashes back and then you get there, it's tough. And some of them are also like, imagine if I was like, you should watch One Piece, Dan. There's been 1,000 episodes. Start with One Piece. Also, the dub is bad. And you want to watch it dubbed. Oof. Oofa doofa. All right. I talked way too long about anime at the end here, but it was fun. But yeah, I mean, I'm hopefully going to end up on Giant Bomb's Extra Life in some capacity and just go to Giant Bomb East's office and chill. I mean, luckily they also have, Mike and Jeff to come in and help out, which is rad. And I'm glad they have friends, on staff to be able to pop in and help out with all that. But if I can help out on that, I would love to. But yeah, I'm gonna call it there. It's 11. Thank you so much for hanging out on a weird Wednesday. No stream tomorrow. Next stream is Saturday. Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern. We are going to finish this backpack. We are going to finish the blue frame. We are body complete. It's time for accessories. Have a great night, everybody. So some of you will see it, some of you won't. I am going to run a 30-second ad at the end of the stream. If you don't see an ad, you'll just see the pre-show slide. If you do see an ad, watch the ad. It makes money for me. Bye-bye.